Welcome to As a Matter of Faith, dedicated to starting each day with the good news of the gospel, brought to you by Altered States. I am your host, Preacher Bob. Let's all jump in the Wayback Machine and travel to the year 1962. Scholars, academics, scientists, engineers, they're all predicting that because of the rapid increase in technology, by 1985 most people will only work about 9 hours a week, and they'll be able to retire at the age of 38. Well, like most predictions about the future, that one was just a little bit off. In fact, 59 years later, it still hadn't come to pass. The truth is, despite all of our technological advances, all of our time-saving gadgets, we really seem to have less free time now than we ever did. If there's one word that many of us would use to describe our current lifestyle, well, that word would be exhausted. The chances are pretty good that that's how you feel these days. But it could very well be the case that the exhaustion you feel is not just physical in nature, but spiritual. We live in a time of information overload. We're fed a steady diet of raw, unfiltered news and sound bites with the ability to process only a very limited portion of it all. The immediate and overwhelming nature of what we see can easily lead us to despair. We literally become so paralyzed by dysfunction that we begin to wonder whether or not we can actually stand up under it. That makes these words of Jesus all that more desirable to hear. Come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Jesus takes the weight of everything wrong with the world that the media throws at us and frees us from that burden. More importantly, Jesus takes the burden of our own culpability for sin and removes that weight so that we can truly live. On the cross, Jesus' outstretched arms held up the weight of all the sins of the world for all time. He didn't just promise to give us a hand carrying the load or the strength to carry it. Rather, he took it on his own shoulders and he carried it for himself. So as a matter of faith today, stand up straight. Stretch those spiritual shoulders. Look up and see the face of God smiling at you. Lift your arms in praise to the God who removes your burdens, even the burden of sin. Rejoice in the rest that God has provided.